Good morning, everyone. Now I gotta get the little frogs out of my throat. Hello, Karen. Yay! First comment. Cheers. It's coffee time at the Kalthoff house. My husband was making coffee. I was making coffee. We were chit-chatting. I was late. Sorry. Good morning. Paper pumpkin time. We're gonna make an alternative card. I think you guys will love it. Oh good, Karen has her coffee. Good morning. Hi Donna. Hi Jean. Hello Yvonne and Rhonda. Everybody's here. All my favorites. Oh, I have to wipe the lipstick off. I just put lipstick on and now it's all coming off onto my mug. But I want to show you my mug. It's brand new. Like some people buy shoes, I buy mugs. So cute. And I think this might be one of my no, I do have a couple of green coffee mugs, but not quite this color green. I really like it. Oh, you are sharing already. You guys are so good. So I have to tell you a little bit of a problem I had this week. I did not do the Facebook Live drawing on Tuesday like I said I was going to do. So I'm going to do that today. Then I'm going to do another one today for the Facebook Live we had on Tuesday. So I had a shingles shot on Monday and a flu shot. So I had both arms. And then on Tuesday, I was doing pretty good. And then about 24 hours later, after the shingles shot, I started not feeling good. And so I read the little shingles shot information. It said like 80% of all people getting a shingles shot will feel achy and have a fever. I fell right into that category. So I just laid low the rest of the day and didn't do much. And so thus I just got all behind. Hello. Yeah, so we'll get caught up today. This card that we're making today, do I even have it in front of me? Oh, for crying out loud. Where is it? How can I not have the card I'm doing? Here it is. This card is the card we're making today. So pretty. Here's the inside. So I'm going to give you the measurements for how to cut this so that you can do like a little opening like this. And this is another card that I made. We won't be making this one, but it's super simple and easy. Just a little bit of coloring on it. But I think you can probably look at it and figure it out. Really pretty. All of these two cards are made with the stamp set that came in the October paper pumpkin. You might also notice the beautiful mossy green paper. And it is from the Heartwarming Hugs paper pack. And I have two swap cards to share with you today from my downline members using the Heartwarming Hugs designer series paper. So we're going to be using that today to make the alternative paper pumpkin cards. And then it also is being used on the particular swap cards that I'm going to share with you. So the first one that I'm sharing with you uses the Gnome for the Holidays stamp set. You might remember that. That is in our mini catalog and it's got the cute little gnomes. And I've seen people do all kinds of things with it, turn it into Halloween and Christmas and just cute little things that you can do with it. So this card was created by my downline member, Charmaine Metzinger. It's so cute, isn't it? And it uses the Heartwarming Hugs designer series paper as the frame around the little scene that she built on the inside. I know, just extremely adorable. Then I have to open it up and show you the inside because there's a little gnome on the inside as well. I just love it when people decorate their cards. It adds so much to the card. So Charmaine, you do such a nice job with your swaps. It's really Really nice to have you in my Creative Crafters downline group. And another swap card we are sharing today from one of my downline members. This is from Kim Lundstrom. Now, you've probably heard that name before. She is my assistant as well. So she comes over, or if it's like, you know how COVID is. Sometimes we get together, sometimes we don't. Right now, we've decided not to get together for a while because of increasing cases. So she is doing drop-bys. So she picks things up, drops things off, and we are working that way. But she also does a swap with us each month in our Creative Crafters downline group. And she used the Peace and Joy bundle along with the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper, and it looks like this. Do you love it? I sure do. And she actually copied the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator website. We have a little special place we can go to for ideas in the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator website, and so she got this idea from there. I love copying because it just makes your setup and the time you can put into something really quick. Here is the inside panel. So a beautiful Christmas card. So thank you so much, Kim Lundstrom, for swapping in our downline group. I love it. And our giveaway today for sharing this on your timeline and letting me know you've shared, or making a comment, letting me know where you're watching from. I really appreciate it. So I do a little drawing. So we'll do a couple of giveaways on Tuesday, and I'm going to do one of my little embellishment packs. So these are just about dwindled out now. We're getting down to where I just have a handful left. So that will be the giveaway on Tuesday. So you have between now and Tuesday to comment and share and just let me know what you think of these cards. All right, so I do want to share with you the original cards that are part of this paper pumpkin kit that came out in October. And of course, they're super, super fun and easy. This is one of them. It's great, isn't it? And then, of course, the inside would be decorated because we do that around here. So there's the inside panel. And then here is another one. And it has the wreath. And you can get refills for this kit. So if you are one of my Paper Pumpkin subscribers, you can go in and get the refill. They are now selling them. In fact, I've had some of my subscribers already do that. Here's another one. And if you know people in like France or Germany, these little foil pieces come in other languages as well. So you can really personalize your card to wherever you're sending it. All right. Now, I am going to flip the camera down and we'll get started with our alternative card. And this one has one of those little funky openings. So it's just a little different than your normal card, not a lot. So I don't know that you could officially call it a fun fold, but it's a little bit of a fun fold. It says Merry Christmas, and one of the really trendy things now that you'll see is fussy cutting your sentiments. Because we always look for ways to make things a little bit more unique, right? And that's what fussy cutting your sentiments will do, and it's just super trendy right now. And then this is the inside panel. All right, so let me go ahead and share with you how we cut this paper. So we're starting with a base of Mossy Meadow. I've cut it at 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and then I've scored it at 5 1/2 and 6 3/4. So I've gone ahead, I folded it at the 5 1/2 inch mark, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to fold back this top panel. Let me grab my bone folder here. So this will be the way the card opens. And then I'm going to fold it back again because I want I don't want anything like popping up kind of weirdly. I want it all to work really nice and to lay flat. So we're going to go ahead and do that with this one as well. So let me just get everything scored. And again, this top front flap, I'm breaking the fibers on both sides for a really nice flap action. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead, take multi-purpose liquid glue or another adhesive of your choice, and you are just going to go ahead and glue this section down. Sorry, I have to squeeze my glue a little harder here. I don't know, it doesn't want to come out too well this morning. Oh, I'm squeezing so hard, but I think I'm going to have to prick it because it's just not wanting to move as well. All right, so then just go ahead, fold that in because you're gluing that together. Now you're left with a little 4-inch square inside area. Well, it's 4 1/4 actually. And then we're going to decorate it with 4-inch paper. So let's go ahead and look at the Designer Series paper that I mentioned. And here it is, the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper. And we're going to use the gingham here. I love gingham paper, and whenever they come out with it in a 12 by 12 size, I always get really excited because you can do so much with gingham, and it's a year-round paper. So we're going to use the gingham, and I have it already pre-cut for 4 inches square for our top panel. So let's go ahead and put that in. And again, I would like to use glue. Hopefully the glue will flow a little bit better. Oh, it's just not. You know what, let me jump up and get this fixed and I'll be right back. All right, let's see if that, oh yeah, that was the magic trick. So I have a little poker tool from Stampin' Up! That, remember when we didn't have a take your pick tool, we just had a little poker tool? So I have one of those in my craft room designated for poking in a glue nozzle to help the glue flow a little bit better. So here's the first one. And go ahead and of course I'm making 2 cards because I do 2 giveaways. So we'll go ahead and put this one here. And then the next step is to decorate the left side of that front panel. So again, we're going to use gingham paper. This is 1 by 4 inches. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to glue these in place. This is a really simple card. And simple is good, right? Because simple means we'll do it. If it gets really hard, it might be really pretty to look at, but it might not be something you'll do. Although, let me tell you, once you start fussy cutting sentiments, you may decide that it's not so simple after all. Some people really love to fussy cut sentiments because they find it relaxing. I guess I fall in the camp where sometimes it can be relaxing, but it can also be a little stressful because I seem to just make that really uncontrollable lurch of a cut and then I mess up and then I have to start over sometimes. All right, so here's the front of the card. Pretty plain and simple at the moment. Let's do our inside panel so we get a few things off my desk here. Our inside panel is 4-inch square and it is in Whisper White, and we are going to do our first stamping right now. So let me grab this is my Stampin' mat. So it's called a Stampin' Pierce mat from Stampin' Up. And we are going to take the Tuxedo Memento black ink. I'm just inking that up, and we're going to set this right side up right here. Give it a nice press. Oh, look at that font. Isn't that a great font? Love it. Do the same thing over here. Wishing you a very happy Christmas filled with fun and laughter. can't hardly say it any better than that. All right, so now we're gonna take our Stampin' Seal, which I have right here, and we're gonna put these right into our cards. So I'm gonna flip it over, and we're gonna set this in right here, and then our inside panel is complete. Same over here. And our inside panel is complete. There it is. So simple, you guys. All right, so now what's the next thing we need to do? Well, we're going to need, for those of you that have a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, either from Stampin' Up! Or from another company, you know how much we love our dies. One of my most loved and most used dies in the Stampin' Up! Product lineup that you'll find towards the back of the catalog is our Stitched Shapes dies. So we're going to be using the largest of the Stitched Shape circles, and you just want to grab some scrap paper. So this is just your basic Whisper White scrap paper, and I'll be able to get 2 of these onto my scrap. And because I'm just so proficient, I did do this in advance. So this is the circle we're going to be stamping on. Made 2 of them for you. So let me grab our Stampin' sheet again, and now we're going to take this wonderful wreath and we're going to ink it up again with Memento Tuxedo Black. And we're going to stamp it right in the center of this circle. Look at that. Looks great, doesn't it? We're going to do the exact same thing over here and stamp it right in the center. Perfect. Then we're going to give that a few minutes to kind of settle in. And we need another piece of scrap paper because we've got some flowers. So we are going to take our flower that came in this stamp set, and we're going to stamp it twice. Well, if you're making 2 cards, you'd need to stamp it 4 times. So there we have it stamped, and I've already done some of this in advance, so I only need to stamp it twice. Then take your sentiment. Again, you're inking it up with the same ink that we're using all the way through. I'm going to ink this just one more time. And you can stamp that on your scrap as well. Isn't this font great? I just love it. And then this is what you're going to color, and you're going to fussy cut. So let's get at that coloring. So I'm going to start with the wreath here, and I'm going to color both of these wreaths. And I actually planned this so that I can look at your comments while I color, because I so seldom get to do that. So what I'm doing is I've got the light Mossy Meadows Stampin' Blends, and I am just going to go ahead and color these leaves. Now, they don't have to be done real exactly. It's one of those things where I'm tempted to do things really exactly, but you really wouldn't have to, because a lot of these leaves are going to get covered up with the things that we're putting on. So you just want to go real light. I use the brush end because then I can just kind of just gently touch it, and it gets done almost immediately. So you're telling me you love the fonts on the sentiment. That's great. You love the Christmas sentiment. It's so pretty. And you know, getting Paper Pumpkin every month is sort of a surprise in the mail every month. You never know quite what you're going to get. Stampin' Up! Does give us a few little sneak peeks. But beyond that, we just have to be creative with it. So this month it was 8 cards. And then of course we can purchase the refill kit separately and make more cards. But the stamp set we can have forever, which is super awesome because it's an awesome stamp set. I mean, anytime you get a wreath in a stamp set, that really, to me, that just really makes the stamp set, having this wreath, because there's so much you can do with it. You can make it a spring wreath, a fall wreath, a Christmas wreath, whatever you want to do. Oh, you guys are so sweet. You're loving this card. That's awesome. So I'm going to be a little more messy, just because I have to be if I'm going to read comments and color. So you're wondering where the die wreath, or where the wreath die, it's actually not a die. The die is the stitched shape dies. The wreath itself is a paper pumpkin stamp set, and that was the October stamp set. So this is an alternative card that uses the stamp set from the October paper pumpkin kit. You know, it's not often that I share alternative cards in my Facebook Lives. I usually show you something that you can just turn around and purchase from me. And this one actually can't be purchased, but it is a way for me to talk a little bit about paper pumpkin and share with you what a really remarkable and fun thing it is to have paper pumpkin come to your door every month. And so the stamp sets that come with the paper pumpkin are really quite incredible. So here's our wreath. We have them colored, a little bit messy coloring, but that's okay. Now I'm just going to show you how to color the flowers real quick. So once again, you'll see there's some leaves. So we're just going to take, again, the light mossy meadow. And we're just going to just tap on a little color wherever the leaves are. Then I take the light, this is the light cherry cobbler, and I'm coloring in the whole flower with the light cherry cobbler. Not a tremendous amount of work, but I do want to stay kind of within the lines for this particular design. There we go. And then I'm going to use the fine tip end to put these dots in, and then to color this little flower right here. And then I'm going to take the dark cherry cobbler, and I'm using the fine tip end, and I'm just adding a little bit of an accent. Wherever there's little hash marks from Stampin' Up! In the stamp is where I put a little bit of darker color, just to give that a little bit more depth, a little bit more of a contrast and an accent. So let me hold this up to the camera so you can see what that looks like. Looks nice, doesn't it? All right, so I am going to spare you the fussy cutting. I will tell you that when you do fussy cut, what you want to do is you want to move your paper, not your hand. So as you go around, notice how I'm exaggerating this just so I can show you. But it's the paper that you move, not your hand. And then you get kind of a nice even cut all the way around. So I want to show you that I did fussy cut everything in advance just so it wouldn't take quite so much time. So I have 4 of the little flowers, and I have 2 of the Christmas sentiments. So now we can go ahead and get started assembling our card. I'm going to set this aside for a second because you'll also notice on our original card we have some twine. And this twine is colored cherry cobbler, which looks great with this card, right? Well, putting together all of those cards from the Paper Pumpkin kit, I only had enough to use this much twine, and that was it. The rest all got used up. So what I did is I took some twine that is from our linen thread, which is kind of that graham cracker color or crumb cake color, and I used my dark Stampin' Blend, and then I just ran this through the end of my Stampin' Blend on the brush end, and I was able to color my own twine, which is pretty great. So I will still get the same look, but I'm using different twine. So let's see what we've got here. I didn't really measure this out very good, so hopefully I'll have enough to tie a bow here. Let me see. This is always a trick to know exactly where I need to put it to get the bow in the right spot. All right, so I think we're just going to go for it. So I do think I have barely enough here to make a bow. We'll see. Oh, you know, I just don't feel like I have enough to make a bow. So I'm just going to wrap it around. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of a bow, I think I'll do a tie-on, because that'll look just as great, and then I don't have to fuss with the bow. So let me just do a tie-on. So that's just tied in a knot. And there we go. Oh, that looks cute too. And you know what? I think now that I have it in a knot, I do have enough to tie a bow on. Cute! I did. So maybe that was the magic. I just needed to tie it in a knot and then tie it in a bow. Boy, that sounds almost like a nursery rhyme. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and finish the card out here. So I've got this little piece that we're going to use, and I'm going to put that on dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. And we'll just put 3 of them on. And then we'll flip it over and set this right in the middle of that 4-inch square. So let me go ahead and get caught up with the second card that we're doing. Yes, and you know, this was a little tedious. Linda's mentioning that it's a great idea to color your twine. I don't know that I do it all the time. I really wanted to do it for this card, just to show you that it could be done, but it was a little tedious. So this one, I do not think I'm going to have enough to tie into a bow, so I'm just going to do a little knot. There we go. Then I'm going to trim up the ends. And I'm seriously just going to call that good. Looks a little more country that way. Or a little more rustic, I should say. They both look pretty country with the gingham. Cute! All right. Then we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to take some dimensionals. We'll put 3 of them on. Flip it over, and we're just centering it right here in the middle of our 4-inch square. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our flowers, and 2 of the flowers we want to put flush onto our wreath. And so to do that, I'm just going to add a little bit of Stampin' Snail on the back, and we'll set this in just like so. Let's do the other one. And just set it in the upper, you know, kind of a little bit higher than the middle. So this is where the first flower goes. Then the second flower is going to get dimensionals. So let me flip those over and we'll get dimensionals on those. And I think we have room for 2 dimensionals. There we go. And then this flower is going to go kind of kitty corner from it, just like this. We'll do the same thing over here. Cute. All right, then we're going to take this Merry Christmas and set it right in the middle. And you can either do it straight across or at an angle, however you feel like it looks the best. So we're going to add dimensionals again. So this time, think about it though, because do you really want dimensionals on top of another dimensional? So I'm going to keep my dimensional towards the middle because the dimensional that's on the flower is actually going to help hold this up. So I'm kind of paying attention to where I'm putting my dimensional. And then over here, I want a dimensional because this is flat. So I'm going to use a mini dimensional on this side. So I've got my minis right here, so let me go ahead and grab one of those. And that mini dimensionals are nice because they fit right in on those little spaces. And then we just need one more for the middle of this one. And I'm going to add just a little bit of Stampin' Snail on the end of this because I want to make sure that it lies flat on my flower and doesn't, you know, pop off or get caught in the envelope when someone's taking it out of the envelope. There we go. So now I can take my Merry Christmas and we can set this. And now I'm kind of a straight across sort of gal, so I'm just going to put mine pretty much straight across. And that one looks good to me. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. Oh, that's so pretty. There we go. And now the finishing touch is to add these really awesome beaded pearl-like things. They're these big enamel dots. I know Stampin' Up! Sells them. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what the name of them are. But I think it's frosted and clear epoxy dots, maybe. I'm just not sure. But I'm going to use the frosted ones. I have a few clear ones on this side, but I just feel like this card calls for frosted. So I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and we're just going to go all out and use the big ones today. So it really adds a gorgeous accent to the centers of our flowers. And this one will go here. Oh my goodness, look at that. It just totally makes the card. So I'm going to put one over here. And then one more right here. Wow, so pretty, wouldn't you agree? All right, so I'm going to get off the Facebook Live right now. I'm going to go in and announce my winners from the drawing for last week on Thursday. And then this afternoon, I'll probably go in and announce the winner from the drawing on this past Tuesday when I wasn't feeling so hot. And then we'll do the drawing for this card on Tuesday coming up. So you guys have a great day. If you have a chance, please like my Facebook page. It really helps, and I love seeing how many people love watching these videos and seeing what I'm up to. And you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.